shaping future hospitality leaders, industry insights, and career motivation. Thank you everyone for taking out time and joining in with us today. We are delighted to have with us experts from industry and academia for the discussion. On behalf of GHRDC team, I welcome our expert panel members. GHRDC, as many of you would be aware, is a 27-year-old education research firm dedicatedly working in the education sector in the area of ranking, training, mentoring, and research, with the sole aim of working on upgrading the quality of education in various sectors and benchmarking the best of the educational institutions in our country. The hotel management industry is continuously evolving to meet the changing demands of travelers, technological advancements, and shifting market dynamics. With the emerging new trends, future of hotel and hospitality education and career is evolving, especially with the relation to the evolving trends in increased integration of technology and focus on sustainability, rapidly changing consumer preference as well. Today's webinar's discussion is dedicated to discussing some of these dynamic changes, trends, and subsequent unique career path emerging, as well as the changing paradigm of skill sets required by aspiring hotel management professionals in the current time, and how the students can keep themselves motivated to pursue a fulfilling career. We'll also be inviting our distinguished speakers to talk about this exciting topic. Also, I would request our wonderful attendees as well as viewers on our live session of this webinar to type in your questions for our speakers in the chat box given along with the name of the speaker it is addressed to. Now, I would like to introduce our eminent speakers for today. Dr. Parvada Vardhani Gopalakrishnan. A graduate from IHM Chennai, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, over 45 years of academic and professional experience in hotel and hospitality industry, education and research. She holds a PhD in management studies from the Manipal Academy of Higher Education and has to her credit of publishing several research papers. After her graduation, Dr. Gopalakrishnan worked with the Taj Residency Aurangabad and then overseas in Bahrain with the elite group of hotels. She also went on to become a certified hospitality educator and trainer from the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institute, USA. Apart from her vast experience in hotel and hospitality industry, ma'am also served as the director principal of several prestigious hotel management educational institutes in India and abroad, such as including Bison Institute of Hotel Management in Bahrain, IHM Aurangabad, as well as Welcome Group Graduate School of Hotel Administration, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Manipal. We welcome you, ma'am, to our webinar today. Ms. Pallavi Chaudhary is currently serving as the director of the School of Hospitality and Tourism Studies at D.Y. Patil University, Navi Mumbai. Since assuming this role in 2021, she has been instrumental in driving the school's growth and aligning its academic program with the evolving demands of the hospitality industry. Her visionary leadership has led to the introduction of the state-of-the-art training kitchen and the modernization of curricula to incorporate global hospitality trends. One of Ms. Chaudhary's key initiatives has been the enhancement of internship program, which has increased international exposure for students and improved their employability through partnership with the top-tier hospitality brands. Before transitioning to academia, Ms. Pallavi had a distinguished 15-year-old career in hotel industry where she worked with the prestigious brands such as ITC, Marriott, and Accor. This extensive industry experience allowed her to bring valuable insight into her teaching when she joined academia as an assistant professor in 2014. Ms. Pallavi Chaudhary holds a degree in hotel management and MBA in hospitality management and is currently pursuing her PhD. Her dedication to education and passion for nurturing the next generation of hospitality professionals continue to drive innovation and excellence within the School of Hospitality and Tourism Studies. Thank you for joining in us today, ma'am, and we welcome you.
Thank you so much.
Now I'll request our Executive Director, Ms. Meghla Sinha, to initiate the discussion. Over to you, Meghla.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aradhana. Once again, a very, very warm welcome to Pallavi ma'am, to Paro ma'am, as we can take the liberty of calling them, affectionately. And thank you. I can't tell you how excited we are to talk to both of you. This is a very important series that we are doing with both of you to really reach out to our student community in hotel management, education sector as well as industry, because they have a lot of, questions. They have a lot of issues and challenges that they would like to overcome, and also understand what are the various emerging trends or emerging things that are coming up, skill sets, or even technology wise, what can they do to really equip themselves. So this is a webinar where we would like both of you to share your heartfelt insights, your experiences, your journey, and inspire them. And also we would be having people joining in from the industry today, people joining in from various hotel management educational institutions today. This webinar is going live on all our social media channels, so it will be watched by many. Thank you so much once again to both of you for joining. And I jump straight into our first question. My first question is to Pallavi Chaudhary, ma'am. Ma'am, this is a question that we are asked all the time. And, no matter how many webinars we end up doing, this is one of the most foremost question as far as student community is concerned. We always talk about skill sets, no matter which part of education we are talking about. And every single, sector of education demands a certain skill set, right? But when it comes to hotel management, these skills become even more paramount, and has always been the case when we talk about hotel management education since decades. But after COVID, that definition started to change. A lot of other things started getting added to that list of skill set. So today I would like to ask you my first question, which is, how do you think students should work on their skill sets, especially when it comes to emotional intelligence, adaptability, and cultural awareness, which has become something very, very important in today's time? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Meghla, for giving me this opportunity on this platform. And it'll be lovely to interact with all of you here. Coming back straight away to your question, I think, the skill sets that you spoke about, they're not new to the industry. Because when we talk about hospitality industry or the hotel industry, it's a people-driven industry. So skill sets, yes, are a requirement. If you're in the kitchen, the chefs do require a particular skill set. Front office has their own skill set requirements, housekeeping, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to intelligence quotient, or when it comes to cultural awareness, or when it comes to adaptability, I think as hotel management students, we undergo this when we are doing our hotel management, when we are doing our internship. And these things are really very important. And as you said, post-COVID, it becomes more important. I'll tell you about, I'll probably go it in one by one. When you talk about emotional intelligence or emotional quotient, as we call EQ, as we call it is paramount in the hospitality industry. We are a people-driven industry, So we need to be empathic. We need to be sympathetic towards our guests, towards our staff. And only when we understand each other as people, it gives a great team to work with. And that team ultimately gives a great guest experience. So EQ is very, very important. And as you said, post-COVID, it is very much enhanced. The requirement is very much enhanced because people have become more sensible. People have become more sensitive towards things, so having known your customer, having that empathetic feel towards him or her, and to help them solve their daily requirements at the hotel that you are, or any hospitality sector that you are at, definitely goes a step forward. So it is paramount. It is very much paramount. Coming to the next thing about adaptability, I think every hotel manager goes through this every day. Hospitality industry is such a dynamic industry, that's something which makes it very nice to work in this industry, that every day is not the same. So every day has its challenges. They might be positive, they might be negative. You never know what springs upon you anytime as a hotel manager. I mean, everything will be running absolutely smooth 1 minute, and the next minute something might come up. So adaptability to any course of action that needs to be thought of. You need to be thinking on your feet all the time. So this is a very important thing which students today's generation needs to learn this. In fact, I would say that the previous generations had this inculcated in them as they are growing up years. but the generation of today probably grows up in a different atmosphere and different culture, and they are probably less accustomed to adaptability. They have their own cocoon, they have their own set of friends, own set of people, and anything outside that they do not easily accept, and they do not easily, respond to. But if you're a hotel management student, if you're someone who's going into a hospitality and tourism industry, then this is uttermost important. So you need to be adaptable to circumstances, you need to be adaptable to people, you need to be adaptable to environment. In today's world, you are a global traveler. Today, you might be working in a city like Mumbai, where you probably is your local city. Tomorrow, you might go to another state of India, you might go abroad, and you need to get accustomed to the working environments, to the working cultures. So this is a very important thing, which is necessity. I mean, it's a skill set which should probably be integrated into the curriculum, which probably should be taken up as they learn through their 3 years in college and as they proceed to their early stages in their career as well. The next point which you said is cultural amalgamation. Very, very important to hospitality profession, because your guest varies, your team varies. You have guests who will be a local guest. He might be a guest from India, any state of India. He might be from anywhere across the globe. Similarly is your work team. I mean, with international groups coming into play, you are not restricted to a local team which you are working with. You might have your head from some other country. You might have your teammates from other states. You might have a completely potpourri of people you're working with. And that's why if you get exposed to that kind of a culture, it becomes more easier for you to deal with that kind of people, deal with that kind of guests who are there. I remember when I used to work in hotels, we used to have a lot of foreign guests. And when you talk with them, interact with them, it is always nice to know a little about their culture, a little about their background, a little about the current news from where they're coming from. So when you converse with them, they can connect with you faster, you can connect with them faster, and it gives a complete different experience to them. So I think these all three things, EQ, adaptability, and cultural exposure, are very, very important when you are a hospitality professional.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think the way you described it, like, it has always been a part of the education aspect for hotel management right from the beginning. But after COVID, it has become even more important. I think is something which is a huge takeaway for the students today. Of course, they're already learning it, but to come from you and from Paro ma'am would be an added addition. Ma'am, Paro ma'am, moving over to
Yes.
you.
Am I heard? Can you
Yes,
hear me,
yes.
ma'am?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mrs. Mekla, and thank you, Mrs. Chowdhury, for having initiated the conversation. So I will try to skip the points that ma'am Chowdhury has taken, and add to it.
Sure, ma'am.
In my experience with the students and looking at how they choose hospitality as a career, I understand that they've done their research, they've done their homework in joining the college, and they're quite aware of the high human contact that this profession has. So, as humans, whether you're a person who's serving or whether you're receiving, you are a bundle of emotions. So, you're interacting one emotion to another emotion. So, it's a beautiful question that you've asked about the three most important things for a beginner or in a career in hospitality, or a lifelong career in hospitality, which deals exceptionally with emotions. If you look at emotions, now we always say that when we are, in colleges, we are told to do, we do exercises and demonstrations. Okay, meeting a customer is angry, then you have to do role plays. Okay. In those days, I'm talking about 47 years ago, the emotions were different. And today, when we look at our consumer and when we look at our the people who are serving, the emotions are different. Highly charged, it's very quick, it's very fast. Everything is like, instant. So when we're talking about this emotional intelligence and emotional quotient, according to me, because I just came back from Doha and I did a bit of traveling, and I realized from when I look back for the 40 years, how fast people want things, but still emotionally, balanced. And it's very difficult. So, in my opinion, you as students and anybody, even as faculty, even as grown-ups, we have to continue to practice in improving our emotional quotients and our emotional intelligence. Now, when we talk, I understand there are a lot of students, and I don't want to get into your subjects, which you already have knowledge. I will talk about my traveling experience. Now, emotions is about, your anger, your hatred, your love, your passion, all these things that come from the heart. And it is very difficult to handle it when you are with an emotional a person of a different emotional background, because like Madam Chowdhury has already highlighted, culture is diverse, emotions are also diverse, and traveling and momentarily things can change. When one consumer is traveling from one destination to another, the experiences that he had will carry as a baggage to the emotions. So as a service provider or as a student intern or as even a trainee, are you able to identify these emotions? Are you able to see that culturally they are so different? Now, if you look at the way things are going, suddenly you'll have something happening, and like Madam was saying, pandemics, crises, etc. And when these things happen, the service providers' emotions also would change, and so would the consumers' emotions change. There would be a lot of stress within both of us. So, as a human being, we need to identify at what emotion does this as consumer come from? Where do you come from? And emotional intelligence is something that you develop. And for that, I just would like to highlight a few points for practicing emotional intelligence, especially. You got to keep good health. You got to be practicing your financial stability to some extent and know how to keep your money. You got to have good friends. You have to have good social contacts around you. You got to network. I'm talking generally to students, and you got to practice it, for which you've got to be in touch with people. Now, this is something that, like we say, it's a habit, and habits become you. So, in today's world, when a recruiter, let's say ITC, Taj, Marriott's, everybody come and you would have HR people come and look at you, and they say it's the first few seconds that make the impact on the person who's recruiting you. Now, what is the person looking for? He is not looking at your 9.9 GPA or whether you are a 5 GPA. He knows you're a 5 GPA. And he's going to look at you at that first few moments of your body language and then first few moments of what you're saying and how what you say has an emotional stability. This is very few seconds to make this impact. So, and if you tell me when I said wellness, one of the aspects of emotional intelligence is your well-being, your physical fitness, whether you are practicing it and whether you are physically fit. Your physical fitness will lead to your mental agility. So you have to understand, when a recruiter comes to your college, he is looking for you as a big package for the future. I'm not going to talk to you much about the future because you are all aware. You are all looking at internet. You're aware of the virtual reality. You're aware of how artificial intelligence is going to play an extreme role, and how you're going to be in a highly technologically complicated world when you take up your jobs. But you're also aware that the consumers will be in a broad spectrum. They would be in somebody who comes without knowing even how to handle a phone, and there'd be somebody who comes with the highest technology possible, even in a hotel. Probably the consumer will be carrying a technology far superior even to what the hotel can handle. So the future is going to be a mixed bag. It's going to be a spectrum. It's not going to be, that everybody's going to get into AI and everybody's going to get into high technology. There's going to be a group of people who'd slowly get out of the technology and get out of, they've been there, done it, seen the best, and now they want to just do something that's absolutely relaxing and absolutely emotionally, stress free, and actually going into a hotel where people are calm, peaceful, talented, happy. Happiness is a quotient that cannot be defined. But however, when you are in a hotel and providing a service, you have to exude the happiness. And how does that come? It comes with emotional well-being. Okay, so students, I just have a message that if you go and you'll find a lot of information on emotional wellness. Some of you must have heard of the Japanese wellness ikigai, right? What you should do. There are 7 principles of ikigai. So practice emotional intelligence. Practice your development of emotional intelligence, where a hotelier or a recruiter, when they come to apply or appoint you or seek your services, will look for somebody who is stable. So I'd like to use one word. They're looking for people who are agile. Agility meaning emotionally agile, culturally agile, diversely agile, and in every way you have an agility to move, to be calm, to be fast, to again switch to being calm, again switch to being fast, because that's expected when you are appointed. But I want to switch a little bit away from being appointed. I would like to, at this point of time, put this thought into you that it is not only for people who are going to take up jobs with an institution and you could develop, you could be an owner, you could be a business person, you could have a large hotel chain of your own. And when you do, remember that you would also be requiring emotional intelligence and agility to see and plan how, right from the buying of your land to right from how you would check out your consumer and be with him after he leaves you, needs a lot of emotional agility, stability, calm, peace, and of course, speed. Speed, of course, will be there because you're the customer in today's world wants immediate, what you would call an instant interaction or an instant reply or an instant action. So for this first question, I would just stop with saying that agility is to be practiced by all of you, our students. And a recruiter also would look for agility. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think both the points that came from you and Chaudhary ma'am was absolutely basic and fundamental, but the foundation of what students need to start applying and implementing in their lives. It's a reminder to them to, constantly keep working on some of these attributes. And like you said, agility is something which is very important for them. But of course, when it comes to, imbibing these things, you need to have a thing where you can practice this on a daily basis. Practicing it and very consciously applying it is probably what the key to all of this is. So again, moving back to Pallavi Chaudhary ma'am on the second question. Ma'am, the roles that we are now dealing with in hotel and hospitality sector, they're changing very, very dynamically. And of course, we used to have a certain, kind of roles when it came to placements for, the students. But now that definition is changing very quickly, and even hotel and hospitality education students are entering into very, very dynamic roles. So obviously, there's a very fast-paced change that's happening here in this industry. How do you feel that industry and academia can come together and partner to really help students become they can, if how can they really adapt to this changing dynamic effortlessly? What would your views be on that?
Thanks, Meghla, for the question. A very, very important question, because this is something I think it's not today. We've been talking this from my hotel management days, Industry Academia Connect. Though the word is same, the parameters have changed over the years. Initially, probably Industry Academia Connect was just concentrated in terms of the internships which happened between, that was the only connect probably which was happening that time in those days between students and hotels and the faculties at the hotel management colleges is for the internship. But today it is a much more required thing for industry and academia to connect. The very first thing I would say is change. I mean, the world that today we are in is changing so fast, so rapidly, and there are so many things to it. To adapt, it that quickness of adaptation has to be there equally. So the first thing I think is the syllabi of hotel management colleges. So that has to be industry integrated, and that has to be industry integrated, and that has always been industry integrated, but it has to be more relevant to what is happening in the industry today. Because what was happening in the industry a year back is no more probably happening in the industry today. So the pace is very quick, the pace is very fast. So that's why there has to be a very robust industry academia connect, where the syllabus, I mean, industry experts are called upon to the campus to see the campus and to guide on what the syllabus is. At our institution here at the DY Patil University, we have something called as an advisory board, which consists of it not only consists of hoteliers. We are a hospitality spectrum. Hospitality today is not restricted to hotels alone. Students have the opportunity to go on cruise lines, in retail, in multinational companies. So on our advisory board, we have people from all these top people from this industry, and they are the ones who go through our curriculum regularly. And I'm not saying that it should change every 1 month or 6 months, not possible at all, because students also need to have some base from where they learn to and step forward. So then, every 2 years, we have a major curriculum revision where whatever can be added in terms of technology, in terms of what's happening in the industry, in terms of what consumers need today. The consumer of today is changing so much. That's the reason why hotels have to change so much. And that's the reason why the syllabus has to change accordingly. Because the student who's learning today and going to step into the industry tomorrow, he or she should not be taken aback by anything saying, what is this? I don't know. There are mentors at the industry who will guide them, who will take them forward. But stepping in first from the college to the industry should not be cheese and chalk. There should be a smooth transition. And for that to happen, I feel industry needs to give time to academia to come into campus, to step into campus, and to have this constant dialogues of how integration of what's happening in the industry can be done into the syllabus. That is the first thing that I would say about. The very next thing, again, is a very important thing, and I would like to stress more on this point, is internships. During our times, internships was that panel, the hotels used to come, used to get selected, go to the industry. We were told by the teachers, this is the best time for you to learn what is on the shop floor. Do not question. Just go, do your job, learn the maximum, do your daily logs, come back, submit report. That's the experience you're supposed to get. We had a fantastic experience. We have learned a lot from our internships. But again, today's generation, today's students are different. Today's industry is different. Sorry to say, but I'm not generalizing all hotels here when I'm saying this. But hotels today have become less emphatic towards student role in internship. They when it comes to selection of students, there is the training manager involved, there's the HR manager involved, and when they come in, they have a certain aspect which they come in with to select the students. They select the students accordingly. But when students actually go on shop floor, are they really learning? They are working, yes, but are they really learning? So that is a very important thing, and that is something which is even driving students away from the industry. If you talk to maximum hotel management colleges, if you see the dropout rate, if any colleges have, they would definitely have that after the internship period. Because the experience that a student see, today's student, again, when we come to EQ, adaptability and everything, today's student is expecting something quite different. They want to be treated with respect. They want to learn things. They want to experience things themselves. And yes, they are ready to put in that hard work as well. But only hard work is not the package of internship. So I think this model of internship needs to drastically change, and hotels primarily need to look at it. Because academics has it in their syllabus. They would send students. Students are briefed about it, groomed about it. They are told about it. They go to the industry with that open mind. But when they come back, they're either demotivated, they either want to leave the industry, or they come back saying that I have just been a casual laborer and nothing more. So this definitely needs to say, and this would again happen only through more of an industry and academia connect, when either hoteliers come to the campus often, or academicians go to the hotels often, and there is a constant dialogue happening. That is what it is, and that is how it should be. Also moving on to other things which will help in the academia industry connect, which we have been doing. But again, I don't blame the industry for this, because I know they are very busy. But we want more of industry personnel to come and interact with the students. And when I'm saying interact, I'm not talking about guest lectures where I want them to teach anything in particular. Teachers are there in the college, they are being taught. But what I would like industry people more is to share their experiences. that means a lot. In today's world, we talk about Harvard case studies, we talk about MBA students learning through case studies and everything. Why not hotel management students learn through case studies? We do not talk about case studies. We talk about role play, as Paru ma'am has said. We talk about role plays. But every day in a hotel is a case study, because there's so many happening. At check-in, there is something different. At the restaurant, there's something different happening today. At the banquet, there is something happening. There are various case studies. I mean, if every hotelier starts putting in their case study, there'll be volumes and volumes of case studies. So obviously, if a hotelier comes into campus and shares their personal experience, that I was at the reception taking a check-in and Aishwarya Rai came in, and what happened? So this is something fantastic which the students will like to learn. And I'm sure they will learn more through this than the regular lectures. So it's a earnest request to the industry that they should come more on campus, they should interact more with the students, and not to teach them anything, but to show their and share their experiences. The students will automatically learn a lot through them. So these are my 3 takeaways, which I think that in terms of industry academia connect: the syllabus, the internship, a robust internship model, and having more of industry people coming in interactive mode with students.
Ma'am, you've absolutely touched the nerve of, this entire topic and webinar. And I think what you shared was very, very powerful, and something which is very practical, something which is the ground reality of what we are facing today. In fact, my next question is to Paro ma'am related to this topic. And I'm so glad that Pallavi ma'am spoke about it, because this is exactly what my next question is to Paro ma'am. When we talk about hotel and hospitality career, ma'am, motivation is a very big issue, like Pallavi ma'am was talking about, And as an agency, as an organization which has been working in hotel and hospitality education sector for last 27 years, we've been visiting institutions, and time and again, we've been getting this feedback where, we feel that motivation is a huge elephant in the room which needs to be, addressed to. And while Pallavi ma'am was sharing that, industry has a lot in that sense to take that responsibility. But I want to ask you this question from the point of view of students today.
Yeah.
How can they keep themselves motivated? And especially when they're starting their career, like Pallavi ma'am said, that especially when they come back from internships, their motivation level is very low. So what would your advice be to these students who are just in the early start of their career, their lives, and they're very excited about, what they want to do with their future, and suddenly these kind of experiences happen? What would your advice be to them?
Yes. Thank you for the question. And I would take on from where ma'am Pallavi and you have said, and I'll talk about student motivation. Now, you are all aware that in India, all students are aware that there is a wide range of institutes of hotel management available in India, and so is the hotel industry. It can begin with a non-starred hotel up to an Airbnb or a private-owned homestay. And it can go on to, like ma'am was saying, a cruise, or it can be a catering service, it can be air catering, it can be anything, but you're all aware of this. But the thing is, you are the person who decides your motivation as an individual. Okay. My son went through a good training period with the Marriott, and he did 1.5 years with the Marriott. And then, of course, he's moved on to banking now. He was very happy with the Marriott's, program of 6 months, 6 months, 6 months in 3 different hotels. And he said he liked the training. Even the GM would come and talk to each trainee when they are at work. So it varies from hotel to hotel, from brand to brand. The intensity and how they motivate a trainee varies. But wherever you go, it is up to you. You as a person can make it big. You can be a Vikas Khanna, you can be a Chef Damu. What do you think? Where did they work? Chef Damu worked in Ashoka, right? In ITDC. So what is it that motivated him? His passion. He was passionate about cooking, right? So if you go to a hotel and you say, I want to be a chef, you be a chef. You take on your passion of wanting to be a chef. Go curious. Get into it. Get into the bottom and tell that chef, give me extra hours. I will work. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. I want to get into, carving. I want to get into cold meats. I want to get into wine and food pairing. They will be very happy. the moment we think that everything is extra work, they're not going to give it free. I'm talking straight at you students because I know the industry. Agreed, they will treat you like, unpaid work, etc. But remember, in this crores of investment they've done, and you are there going as a trainee, and you have access to this beautiful environment, the technology, the workstations, the kind of exquisite material. You have to put yourself in and say, Chef, can I learn this? Or you can tell the front office manager, can I work late today and learn night auditing? Can I work late and learn, this revenue management? Or can I do something little extra and do this? Because first of all, you in this broad subjects availability and
Ma'am, we lost you.
what happened?
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I moved away. In this broad level of jobs that you may seek in the hotel industry, you should find your niche, right? As a student, you should say that where I want to get my motivation from. You should connect with the individual who's training you at a personal level. You should show and exude that passion that I want to be a chef. I want to be a front office manager. I want to be in the front office revenue management. You have now, if you want to be in revenue management, you have to have certain skill set, right? Now, this is the way you are going to exude that energy to your person or your manager or even your faculty in the college. Because I'm sure your faculty are the ones responsible to tell the IT person or, sorry, the recruiting person that this student is very good in front office or this student is very good as a chef. So remember, it begins in your college. Your motivation, your passion, and your niche begins in your college. It begins in the very first year of your life. See, according to the fees and the structures, the colleges vary. So we cannot really say all colleges are the same or all institutions are the same. So be it for the hotels. Marriott is different, Taj is different, ITC is different, but in all they are mandated to have ITs. Now, like Madam rightly said, they don't have the time for trainees, but you have the time. It is your time. It is your time to go and show your energy, to expose that I want to be a chef. I want to be in revenue management. I want to be in, let's say, stewarding, because stewarding is a big profession nowadays, including, safety and security, big time. Actually, a security officer is paid as much as a general manager nowadays. You all heard about the kind of crises that are happening personally, as in security and even health wise. So you should do your homework as a student. You should build your entire network of how you want to learn that particular niche that you're interested in. You should get on to short courses, skill certifications. You should get on into learning languages. You should get on into posting your profiles in constantly in LinkedIn and get your experience posted as you move on. You have to learn that you have to begin to package yourself. You are God within you, all right? You are the greatest person existing. Believe in yourself, motivate yourself, trust yourself, because you are the greatest person alive. Okay, remember that. You as an individual should remember that you are good. You cannot go and say that this didn't happen to me, because UGC and AICTE have set a very beautiful system, and they're expecting the colleges to follow it. They have so many forms and formats in place asking the colleges to fill this, remedial help, career guidance, everything has to be done. So in some colleges it will happen, but in many colleges, if it's not happening, like it's just not your problem. But still, you will have one shining star from such a college. You will have a great chef. You will have a great manager, even from a very, very, very simple college, because it is big. Depends on your self motivation. You have to be versatile. You have to be passionate. You have to have your wellness in place. You have to have your energy in place. You have to have your change, your attitude to change. In the sense, you have to keep embracing change. For example, when you buy a phone, you moved on from a key phone to an iPhone. But when it's your motivation, it has to move on. It has to move on from a press button key phone to an iPhone. So in order to move to become an iPhone, You have to experience. You have to say that, yes, I want to learn. You know, if the chef is telling me, oh, carry this 20 kg bag and put it there because you're a trainee, you may not be physically able to do it, but you have to find the best way to do it. The best way to carry the 20 kg bag, use your mind. Spend 2 minutes applying your mind to saying, how will I carry that bag? Then that should not motivate you that a chef told you to carry a bag of rice. Maybe he's testing your passion and your sincerity towards becoming a chef, because when he was a trainee, he did it. Now, this is a continuum that will always go on, right? That we also trained like that. Now you also trained like this. But you will see that even hotels are changing. They're changing their attitude towards the tradies. They're getting in forms and formats in place. They're getting books in place. They're getting they're getting external trainers to come, like Claire de Or, etc. They're certified in the Taj. Taj has a neo skills program. You can enroll in that, and it's a skills program that will qualify you for the rest of your life. You can use that anywhere in the world. It will even help you for your immigrations if you want to work in another country. So remember, your self-motivation should be a collection of your skills, a collection of your certificates, a collection of what you did as a passion. You have to do it. No college, no hotel will come and help you certify yourself, help you work and stay that extra volunteering attitude, or you supporting the operations and saying, I don't mind chef staying a little late. I understand there's 1,000 packs marriage today. I want to stay. I want to learn how to handle 1,000 packs marriage. So a marriage program. So remember that you are responsible for your motivation. You are responsible for reading your passion. You're responsible for developing your passion, certifying your passion, and getting the diverse experience, given that opportunity that you have with this beautiful 100 crore, 200 crore, 500 crore hotel. Now look at hotels. They're 2,000 crore investment. They're allowing you inside their hotel. What a great opportunity. Do you think me, even if I pay 35,000 per night in a room, can I have access to the back area? No. But you children, you students are having access to their back area, to their SOPs, the SOPs, their procedures, their people, their faculty, their services. It's great. You don't get this opportunity except your 4 years in a hotel industry, in a hotel management college. No customer can enter the back area. Remember how fortunate you are. Motivate yourself. Stay passionate, and stay relevant. If you're a chef, stay relevant. If there's something happening in the chef area and there's something relevant and you want to learn it. See, molecular gastronomy is passé. There's something different to come now, right? And there's so much happening in cuisine. There's so much happening in front office. For example, like, today you don't need a key to go into a hotel room in top-end hotels. Even in an Airbnb, if I stayed in an Airbnb, it was keyless. The door was left open. There was no person. I just walked into the room. So you must remember that everything is changing, and the changing is so fast that unless you're motivated to change and learn, you're not going to go in. There will definitely be a sense of, oh, it's so tough. Nothing is tough. It's coming free for you. They're giving you free access to their domain, which is built with so much of investment. So every time you're in a hotel, remember, you're getting into 1,200 crore property and you're going to learn. You're going to learn. Don't think, oh my God, 8 hours, 9 hours. Don't. The more hours, the more you're learning. In the initial days when we trained, I'm talking about 40 years ago, it was like that. Just when we went and told the housekeeper, Madam, I finished my duty, can I go? She'll say, no. Can you go and check room number 404567? And she'll say, come back later. And then it'll be 8 o'clock at night. It's okay. You had access to room number 403, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that's the way we took it. And remember, most of you who are training in a luxury hotel, you have access and privy to some of the luxurious material, people, the most qualified people, and the most qualified environment for free. So take it. Please embrace it. Embrace it. Take it with open arms. Don't consider it as a burden. It's not. If you look at a college investment, I recently, Madam knows, we were into development of a college. And the whole college took us about 4-5 crore to develop, okay, including the room. But look at hotels. You cannot develop a good hotel with less than 1,000 crore. So imagine somebody giving you access to that. So take the full opportunity when you're a trainee and motivate yourself, build your network, gain the experience, diverse. If you're allowed access to one department, request another departmental head to have access to something else for one day. Do cross training, do multitasking, ask to do some of the menial things from which you will learn. Nothing is menial. Nothing is menial. In those days, it was always considered so kind of degrading to do the toilet in a room. But cleaning services has become a premium now, including after COVID, where clinical cleanliness is becoming so important. So do you have access to how to keep a place clinically clean? Do you know what are the chemicals used? Do you know what are the processes used? Do you know how alkali reacts with alkaline? No, but you learn it in a hotel. They have a standard set of products called C1, C2, C3, C4, something like that, like F1, F2, and you have to learn it. So learn, learn, learn. Embrace change. Be connected. Network. Be passionate. And be curious. Be curious. Be curious. This is the only thing I can tell you. Don't think you're not learning in a small hotel. You will learn. And don't think you're not learning in a big hotel that you're lost. No, you will still learn. And remember, at the end of the day, please start your own enterprise. Don't think that all the time you're learning in this college of 4 years degree is going to be that you're going to be an employee. You should be an employer. This is my personal motivation to you. Think big, dream big, start big, and you will all be great. Okay? Thank you so much for this question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That was an incredible motivation. I'm feeling great listening to you. I'm sure the student community would be vibrating with this message. And I think, in summary, what you're saying is take responsibility for your own motivation and for your own learning and for your own thriving. And while the external factors matter and they're there to also, motivate you, but there is one thing that is there in your control, and that is you yourself. So keep working on that self that is in your control and that you can manage. What is not in your control, let it be. So I think that's a very, very powerful message to our student community, and I hope they take it back with them and get back with the same rigor and enthusiasm of pursuing their dream careers and passion, and not letting the everyday experience bring them down. Pallavi,
That's right.
I'd like to, pose the next question to you. Like I said, the paradigm of hotel and hospitality industry career is changing in a huge, huge way. We're now talking a lot about sustainability and responsible tourism. And this is something which is now being taken up by not just the luxurious brands, but even some of the hotel brands that are coming up very newly now. They're very actively adapting to this. How can educational institutions, hotel management educational institutions, work on this by very actively incorporating into their curriculum and their teaching?
So, Meghla, a very time important question this is. I mean, we are living in a time where sustainability is no longer a choice. It is a necessity, and not just in the hospitality industry, but in every industry where you walk, right? Starting from our homes to wherever in the globe, the whole globe is grappling with this. And we have been fortunate enough growing up, we have had a lovely atmosphere, a lovely climate, lovely things around in the environment. But moving forward, if things are not taken into the hand responsibility, the coming generations would not get the lovely earth that we have all been witnessing and walking on. So not only hotels, when I'm talking about this, I'll talk in general in terms of everyone's aspect, as a student, as a faculty, as a mentor, as a teacher, as an industry person. It has to be there. The change is necessary. It will happen because every industry today is talking about it. Hotel industry particularly, definitely. I mean, ecotourism or ecotels are not new to India, but they are not many as well. But every hotel, even though it is not termed as an ecotel, every hotel is being responsible towards sustainability and changes. And they're doing it in their own way in terms of be it in the housekeeping areas, be it in F&B, be it in front office, be it in their supplier chain. That's a big thing which hotels are getting into, the supplier chain, right from the supplier chain to the end product where they deliver it to the guest. Everything is, they're moving on more sustainable practices. Okay, be it with your SCP driven plants, be it with the SCP plants, be with your biogas elements in the hotels, be it with lighting systems which are more energy efficient, waste management, water conservations. All these things are definitely happening in hotels. And yes, as you said, students today in the industry, how would they inculcate that? So again, the education that they get has to be inculcated. This is where I said, but my first point, which I meant, that industry academia connect for syllabi. This is also an important part. I mean, this, when they discuss, this would also be there in terms of their learning as a syllabus. Probably this cannot be just a subject where you say, okay, sustainability is a subject and you learn this. No, it has to be in every aspect. So front office as a subject has to have sustainability. A chef as a subject, I mean, a kitchen management as a subject has to have sustainability and green practices. Front office definitely has to have, F&B service has to have, every aspect of hotel management which the student learn as they are training, whether it is in practicals or in theory, it has to be connected to sustainability and the changes that every individual can bring, every organization can bring. Something which I will like to share here from my personal experiences, how our students are in tuned into the sustainable practices, is what the university is looking at. We are lucky enough that at the D.Y. Patil University, we have something called as a DCAL. DCAL stands for D.Y. Patil Climate Action Lab. This was founded by Ms. Rajlakshmi Patil, and this is such a great initiative where the entire university comes together for a lot of green practice initiatives. Now, this happen in terms of conversations, this happen in terms of conferences, this happen in terms of students actually going live on floor, doing things which they come back and share their experiences of how they felt that they were a part of the change. So things like beach drive activities, things like plantations, things like going into villages and teaching them about these things, making our villages more sustainable. So initially we used to feel that, okay, one beach drive kia, what is the big deal? But no, it is a big deal. There is a lot of learning from that small one activity, and the students come back quite motivated because today's generation, I think, is more aware. They want to do a lot for the industry, they want to do a lot for the society, and they are ready to learn. So if these things are inculcated at the education level, they will become more aware citizens. They will become more responsible, aware individuals who will step into the industry and carry it forward in the industry. What the industry is currently doing, industry is doing a lot in terms of sustainability. As Paru ma'am also said, technologically also industry is evolving so much. Like we do not need, some top brand hotels do not need cards anymore. So plastic, they're saving on plastics. It's a contactless, through your app, you just open your room and get into the rooms. So definitely it is there to stay. It is something which none of us can do without. Industry is doing a lot on this. This is what education institutions need to inculcate in their students through practice, not only as a part of a module for teaching, is what I would say. There has to be green initiatives taken up by each and every student on campus, and the campus has to revibrate with it. And there are so many collaborations that can happen at the student level which will help them do this. We have a collaboration with City University New York, where they have installed a weather station on our campus, and that monitors the air quality. And depending on the data that we collect, a lot of our other students, our management students, our engineering students, our public health students, are deriving a lot of data and working in researching in those areas. And this is a completely student-driven activity. So that's why I'm saying it has to be student-driven. And at university levels, at institutions level, we need to inculcate this. This is what it is, and this is what we should be adhering to.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. These initiatives that you spoke about, I think, are a wonderful benchmark and a guidance and an advice to many institutions who will be watching this, and they can also take back. And I'm sure they will be able to also learn from some of these insights that you've shared today. Thank you so much. As we come to the last 5-10 minutes of this webinar, there's one very interesting question that I would like to pose to both of you. And we'll start with Paro ma'am. And the same question, ma'am, Pallavi ma'am, I'll request you to answer on. What is that one advice that you would like to give to students as a parting gift today for this webinar, for their career, for how when they start up early on in their life, that you wish you had learned earlier, and you wish you had known earlier. So what is that one beautiful advice that you would like to give to them today?
Thank you, Mekla. I really like this question because yes, like you rightly said, when it was almost 47 years ago that I was in college, and it was the beginning of hotel management colleges in India, and it's structurally they were very good at teaching the skills. Beyond that, I don't want to say about my alma mater, but sometimes we wish they had, done more of, uh, uh, counseling, forward thinking, futuristic planning, etc., which of course did not happen. But even now, we do not have to depend on a college or on a hotel to manage our career or to tell us what to do. It, like I rightly said, it is up to us. See, you have a college where you have, I think the UGC and AICT has very clearly said that every 18 students have to have a mentor. Am I correct, ma'am? There's some kind of a formula they've created.
Yes, a mentor-menteeship.
Mentor-menteeship, etc. is there. You can actually, you can talk to them, but they can advise you based on your grades, etc., and your passion, etc., that perhaps this is the way you can take up your career, or they can tell you what is happening in the world, what are the programs happening. If you are into this, go and attend this program, go and do this kind of networking. If it should happen right from year one in the college, because you have that mentor-mentee programs happening through AICT and through UGC, whichever institutions are or affiliated to whatever body, and it's very strong, very beautifully designed. But the very thing is, it should happen. It should happen that by the end of 4 years, the student has got all the help he can from the institute. But simultaneously, it is up to the student also to continue to check, recheck, look what is happening, be updated, and get his career motivation going, and decide how he should not regret that, oh, I wish I had done this in college. We all regret it. Let me tell you what happened to me. I wanted to be a chef. I got the highest marks in first year, second year, third year of my diploma. I got higher than some chefs who are now famous chefs in India and overseas. But at that time, when I went for my interview, I said, I want to be a chef. They said, no, sorry, women are not going to be chefs. Okay. So in 1977, there was not a single woman chef. I wanted to be a chef, but I didn't. I didn't become a chef, and it was my passion. But today, all of you have the passion beyond gender, whether you're male or female, you can be anything. So remember, once again, that the system is there in your college. Please pursue the system and also do some personal pursuing on your own. Look at what Cornell is doing, or look, it's all on your website. You have phones, you have access in your libraries to access these journals and these papers, etc. And you have a Cornell website. If you just go and see what their internship is about, it tells you. You read any of the Ivy League hotel management schools, you read what's happening in UK, you read what's happening in India in the best colleges, or read any other college. Because I remember, Chaudhary ma'am, referring D.Y. Patel's presentations when I was making some presentation for a college when I was working. So I took a lot of information from D.Y. Patel's mandatory disclosure. So the mandatory disclosure itself will tell you how much we can help our students. There's so many things happening for a good learner, a fast learner, a slow learner, etc. What I'm recommending students who are here today is, please talk to your faculty. Please talk to your seniors. Talk to your alma mater. Talk to anybody. Nowadays, if you want to talk to Vikas Khanna, you can call him. He'll take your call. You want to talk to Chef Damu, you can call him. He'll take your call. You just tell him, I want to be a chef, Chef Damu. Can I talk to you? It is all up to you to choose and design your career. You have to design your career. You have to be passionate about where you want to go. You have to have the energy to decide that I'm not going to take the job that is being offered, because nobody else is taking it. I'm going to take this offer because I want to be there. So remember, yes, in some circumstances, you may. I did it. I just took up what was being offered, and then I moved on. I moved into academics, and I never looked back. And I'm happy that I moved into academics, and I did pretty well compared to my classmates. Well, there were some extraordinary chefs, and I wish I'd been a chef, which I didn't. Okay, so remember the switching, the planning, the designing of your life, your career, and not saying, oh, I missed out on this because the college didn't do this. No, you can never blame your college. The college has everything. The college is beautifully designed based on the UGC or AICT diktats and disclosures, etc. They do everything. It is you who did not participate in what the college has to offer. Because if I remember now, there is NSS that is compulsory now in colleges. NSS will also teach you about awareness of the green aspects of renewable energy and what you can do and adopt villages and help children, etc. All this is there. It's up to you. It's either NSS or NCC. So some of you don't take it seriously. There's a lot to learn even in your NSS. If you read the entire document that the UGC has given on NSS, it's all on your website. I've seen it on DY Patel's website. So if you're not reading it, it is you who are losing it. So remember, the only message I have for you is knowledge. After the era of the industrial era, the agricultural era, and the computer era, now moving forward, it is the knowledge era. Please equip yourself with lots and lots and lots of knowledge. Skills, yes, the college will give you. The basic skills the college will give you. But college will also give you the knowledge defined by the syllabus. Beyond that, it is up to you. Remember, extra knowledge is never dangerous, is never going to be dangerous to you. So I suggest lifelong learning, lifelong qualifying, and lifelong updating of knowledge. Every time you get a WhatsApp message, please ensure that if it's useful, read it, imbibe it. If your WhatsApp messages, attune to how you're reading the previous knowledge. So if you get to reading about Ikigai or get to reading about Airbnb, and if you keep texting it, those kind of informations will keep coming to you. So if Madam is talking about renewable energy or waste management or environment-friendly hotels, start reading about it. Equip yourself. Your brain, like they say that Einstein's brain was only used 4%. So we as the normal human beings may be using 1%. And we have that much capability to store knowledge. So remember, as the world is transforming, as colleges are transforming, you are responsible for your knowledge. You are responsible for the kind of information you'll get from your college. See, the libraries have 6,000 books basically. Some colleges have even 16,000 to 20,000 books. None of you would have read even 9 books through the 4 years. Don't blame the college. The college is doing its best. I have seen the mandatory disclosure of ma'am's college where it lists the library books and it says they have so many books. Have you read it? No. You have not read even 9 books there. So remember, reading, acquiring knowledge, and being acceptable to continuous change in the knowledge is important. See, knowledge moves, right? You're having the old knowledge and not moving on to the new knowledge is your problem. So remember, knowledge. It is the future is for the knowledge oriented people and the people with knowledge. So this is all I have to submit about how you as a person can accept your change.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And ma'am, Pallavi ma'am, same question to you. What advice would you give to students which you wish you had learned earlier?
Thanks, Meghla. I think I would add on to what Paru ma'am said. I think somewhat I have similar experiences to share. So ma'am is quite senior. I was born when she was graduated. So I graduated way back in 1999, though, 25 years back. And institutions then, I mean, I have great respect for my alma mater. I even today say I'm a proud alumni of IHM Goa. And everything, my basics were taught there. We had excellent faculties. Everything was superb through my 3 years of college. But if I compare that to what today the colleges are offering, it's a huge difference. We just had the syllabus and we had the internship, and beyond that, we didn't do anything in college, to be very frank enough. Today, colleges are doing so much for the students. At our college itself, every Friday, minimum, every Friday, there's a workshop. Okay. And workshops by who's who of the industry. Top chefs visiting, top hoteliers visiting, top MNCs visiting, people getting to interact with them. I mean, as ma'am had said in few, of our interactions that, as a student, you get opportunity to enter a 7,000 crore property or a 4,000 crore property. Over here in colleges, as a student, you get to interact with the Vikas Khanna. You get to interact with the Ajay Chopra. I mean, we would have not imagined that during our times at all. But are students willing to do that? I mean, when there is an industry person there interacting with you, talking about it, at the end of the day, when they say any questions, and there are hardly any questions. So student today, I've been offered actually a plethora of things. I mean, during our times, there was no Google. Okay. Today, if you ask a person to do, I mean, today, in fact, it's ChatGPT. Probably 3 years before, it was Google doing everything. So if you had a project or if you had an assignment to do, students could directly go Google it, take a printout, submit. We didn't have that luxury. We used to do it through textbooks, we used to do it through going to faculties and learning. But I think that was a great way of doing it. Uh, but today I wish we had Google. We could have been more smarter probably. We could have learned more things. So that smartness, that opportunity today's generation has, which it doesn't take, that is what is missing in today's generation. I mean, you have the opportunity, you have the tools, you have a plethora of things to gain knowledge from, to get things from. If you are passionate, you will do it. So my suggestion or my thought leaving behind to the generation today is, if you have chosen hospitality as an industry, it is an industry which is driven by passion. Unlike other industries where you just learn, go, do things, it's not an office job. It's a passion that you have to live each day. And if you're passionate about the industry, and if you love what you're doing, and that's why you have come in the industry, then it is up to you to develop yourself. You have to have the passion, gain the knowledge, serve with your heart. Empathy, I mean, EQ comes naturally to a hotelier. You don't have to learn or teach. So make the best of what you as a generation is being offered. Take the opportunity in your hand. Make the best use of the opportunity that you're giving. And no one can stop you from any success ever in life. So be passionate is what I would say, and thrive yourself towards that dream of yours. Be a dreamer and don't give up on that dream of yours.
I have no words for both of you. I mean, this session has been so high on energy, motivation, powerful messages, very fundamental, very basic, but very, very, very impactful. And I'm feeling so good listening to both of you, and especially, looking at two very powerful women, in this hotel and hospitality sector. And Paro ma'am, I'd like to say that they missed out on making you the chef. It's not you who missed out on that opportunity. So it's their loss, not yours. And it's our gain that we have you and Pallavi ma'am with us today, sharing such beautiful insights. It has been an enormously meaningful session.
Meghla, if I may just interrupt.
Yes.
Having just taken this thought from you and hearing Paro ma'am, a message to the students. Paro ma'am said that at that time when she wanted to be a chef, she couldn't. Okay.
Yes.
But she did not give up on a dream.
Yes.
She achieved today and is more successful. And that success story is something which students today need to learn, that do not get dejected by your failures. Do not get dejected. I wanted to do this, but I couldn't. Yes, I couldn't do this. What next? And how best?
Yeah.
And she is a live example of that. So students should take that into mind, especially today's generation, when it's an instant generation, when they want everything instant. Noodle instant, Swiggy instant, everything instant. So yeah, so they need to learn this.
That's a beautiful thought, ma'am. Thank you for planting this into the minds of our students before we wrapped up today. I can't even begin to tell you how beautifully meaningful, enriching this entire session was. I'm so grateful to both of you for coming and sharing your wonderful insights. inspiring our students, our hotel management education community. And of course, we also have recruiters and parents who are watching this. I'm sure they'll go back with a lot of hope and excitement for this career ahead. So once again, huge thanks. Aradhana, over to you for a note of thanks.
This was quite an enriching session. On behalf of JHRDC team, I would like to express my appreciation and gratitude to all the participants for taking out time to attend the webinar. Our heartfelt thanks to our panel of experts. Their presence have been invaluable and undoubtedly made this webinar a great success. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Meghla. Thank you, Aradhana, and the entire team at GHRDC. This has been a really lovely morning to share our thoughts, to share our experiences, to interact with students and the community. And thank you, Paru ma'am. It was great connecting with you and sharing. I mean, it's a learning what you have. I mean, it's a learning for me having heard you speak. Thank you.
Same here, ma'am. Same here, Ms. Chowdhury. And thank you, ma'am, Mrs. Sinha and Ms. Aradhana. And one last message. Students can still hear me?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes.
There's one thing which I wanted to just one word.
Yeah.
Remember, like I said, you have control over your life.
Yes.
Manage your life in a way that most important aspect of managing your life is your time. Remember, is never going to get back. So if you want to qualify, if you want to do something, if you want to take a certification, do it now. Don't say I'll do it tomorrow. Even now you get these messages saying short courses in AI. If you read it, do it. Okay, please remember time management, whether you're in a hotel or at home or in a college, is very important. If you have 10 minutes, go to the library. If you have another 10 minutes, do something with NSS. If you have half an hour, do something more. So don't think that you go to college, oh, 3 classes over, then go home. Remember, that is your precious time. Okay, please manage your time, dear students. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We will be sharing the recorded video of this with both of you, and we'll also connect you both. And once again, huge thanks to both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Congratulations, dear students, and all the best.
All the best to the students.